The Russell Westbrook experiment in LA has not worked well to this point. Sure, he's averaging 18 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds, which are some eye-popping numbers, but they're nowhere close to MVP Westbrook when he was on the 2016-17 Oklahoma City Thunder and when he was averaging a triple-double. And not to mention that since his scoring has decreased, he has also been passing a whole lot more. And because of that, he has been making a whole lot of turnovers this season. In fact, this season, he is averaging 4 turnovers a game. And in a game this season, he had a 0 turnover game, which was the first time he had a 0 turnover game in something like 3 or 4 years. And of course, he's doing Russell Westbrook things, stat padding, averaging only 28% from 3 and 67% from the free throw line. This season, Russ has had a 51% true shooting percentage, which is really bad because that's 5% below league average. League average is 56%. It's gotten so bad to where it's to a point where Frank Vogel sometimes has to take Russell Westbrook out of close clutch games. Although he did knock down a game-tying bucket versus the Raptors last night, which ended up giving the Lakers the win in overtime, so I'll give him that. I do not think death threats are okay, but Russell Westbrook has even been getting some death threats. And even crazier, they've been coming from Lakers fans because of his insanely bad play this season with the Lakers. And I think a huge part of why that Russell Westbrook has just not been meshing well is because Anthony Davis has not been playing very much during the season. When both Russ and AD share the floor, though, he makes less turnovers and has more assists per game because he can lob it to Anthony Davis, and their connection is extremely well when they're on the court together, and this is a good duo. Unfortunately, we have not gotten to see much of Westbrook and Anthony Davis this season. Russ is having his worst season in the NBA since his second year in the league, which is absolutely horrific. Although there are a lot of very talented players on the Lakers, which is why Russ is not getting as many touches, because you've got LeBron, you've got AD, you've got Melo, who you know is not going to pass the ball. But a huge reason for that is that Russ is stepping into a new role. He is a guy who is playing about 34 minutes per game, which is less than he used to get when he was on the Thunder, when he would get 38 to 39 minutes per game. Another aspect of it is Russ has lost his athleticism. Yes, we do see flashes of the old MVP Westbrook dunking the ball sometimes and making flashy plays, but his athleticism has decreased a bunch. I'm not saying Russ is not an athletic player. He is still a very athletic player, but he relied a lot on his athleticism, and now that he has lost that, he has not become one of the better players in the league because he has lost some of his athleticism. He's still on the upper echelon of athletic players in the league, but because he lost so much of it, that he relied on so much of it, then he has not become a great player, and his scoring and a bunch of other stats he has decreased. This whole thing with Russ and the Lakers has not been working out, especially because they're the 9 seed in the Western Conference. And I think this offseason they will definitely look to trade Russell Westbrook. And I mean, this might be a little bit heartbreaking for Russell Westbrook. He has been traded every single season since he left the Oklahoma City Thunder because of his lack of efficiency. Just besides Westbrook, another reason why this team didn't work out is because they are over 35 years old. That's the average age on their team. It's so funny because I remember at the beginning of the season when everyone was hyping up the Lakers, saying that they were going to be the first seed in the East, but now they're the 9 seed and they're 10 games below 500 at 30 and 40. And a lot of that has to do with Russell Westbrook. Westbrook is definitely getting traded this offseason, but where to? It's going to be fun, but also degrading at the same time to see Russell Westbrook in a New Jersey next season. There's always a possibility of Russ staying with the Lakers, but that seems very, very unlikely, especially at this point because of how far things have gone. The Lakers are not going to make the playoffs this season. Sure, they'll definitely make the play-in, but they're going to run out of gas and lose in the play-in because all of those guys are 35 years and older, and because Anthony Davis will be out for that stretch, and because of Russell Westbrook's inefficiency, that is why the Lakers won't make the playoffs this season, and that is also why LeBron James will trade Russell Westbrook this offseason. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Click subscribe, turn notifications on, like, share, comment, all the good stuff, and as always, I'm your boy Hyper Hooper Basketball, and we're out.